Now to a shocking new report that says more than 1,000 communities across the United States are hotspots for toxic air pollutions that can cause cancer. According to an extensive analysis from ProPublica, over 250,000 people are living in places with a level of cancer risk higher than what the EPA says is acceptable. Trinity Chavez has more on this story.
In a first-of-its-kind report, ProPublica analyzed exactly how much hazardous air pollution industrial facilities emit. Using advanced data processing software and a modeling tool developed by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, they mapped out the spread of cancer-causing chemicals from thousands of sources of hazardous air pollution across the country between 2014 and 2018. ProPublica's analysis of 5 years of modeled EPA data identified more than 1,000 toxic hotspots across the country and found that an estimated 250,000 people living in them may be exposed to levels of excess cancer risk that the EPA deems unacceptable. The agency's acceptable level of cancer risk is 1 in 10,000, meaning that of 10,000 people living in an area, there will likely be one additional case of cancer over a lifetime of exposure. Most areas where people have the highest exposure to that air are in southern states with weaker environmental regulations, and a quarter of the top 20 hotspots are in Texas. Predominantly black areas in the U.S. have also more than double the cancer risk of white areas, a finding that affirms years of research showing that communities of color face disproportionate exposure to air pollution. The top 3 hotspots of dangerous air in the country are in Port Arthur, Texas, on the Louisiana border, and parts of the Houston area.
The EPA says that it was working, quote, to better understand risks for communities who are overburdened by numerous sources of multiple pollutants. But a former senior analyst at the EPA said that the agency had the data to find the same pollution hotspots ProPublica identified for years, but there hasn't been any funding or interest to tackle the problem. For In Question, Trinity Chavez, RT.